Hello my fellow dragons and welcome back to my channel where the dragons gather. Today we are gathering to see me attempt to make a flower building in The Sims 4. This one was inspired by nature. We're just going to work with it. I just wanted to try and make a flower shaped building for sort of like a fairy kind of sim, so you wouldn't have to necessarily live in the fairy house, which I realise negates the point of the fairy house, but maybe you're a fairy who is married to a mortal and you want that mortal to live with you for reasons I can't comprehend. But you know, maybe you do. Maybe you want your mortal partner to live with you, and obviously they can't go into the fairy house. You've tried to shrink them down before, they freaked out, so now you've just built them a nice home for them to live in so that they live there and you can visit them and you can spend time with them. But you've also got your own separate, like, immortal area, you know, it's quite exclusive just for you and your immortal mates. When you want space from your mortal human that keeps just like aging, griping about things like mortgages. And it's at this point I've just realised how much I'm losing my mind. Anyway, this took 3 hours of my life to build. I wasn't keen on how it looked in the end, so you will see me attempting to make it look better with like landscaping and things like that. I don't think there's much I could do in the end. If I could have made it diagonal walls, I think it would have looked a lot better. I couldn't. There might be a way of doing it. I've just never worked it out. And unfortunately, this is what we ended up with. I did think about not posting the video in the basis that it didn't work out the way I wanted. But sometimes showing how, even when it doesn't go entirely how we want, we still post what we've done and just show you how hard we do try is part of the thing, isn't it? It's part of creativity. Sometimes you draw something, it doesn't look the way you wanted it to, but you still share it with the world because it means something to you, or because you spent 3 hours of your life doing this, so you've got to have something to show for it. So this is why we got this video. Just to let you know, I haven't posted for a very long time. I am working on things in the background. I am trying to do a video for The Ritual by Adam Neville with some Create a Sim in the front. I'm also currently doing a Stardew Valley because I played that for the first time ever. I've also come up with a Stardew Valley challenge that I want to give to myself, so I'll be recording that shortly as well. Hopefully the video of me playing Stardew Valley for the first time will be out first, but there's a lot of footage I need to go through. I've been playing this for weeks. I didn't think it would take me this long, in all honesty, but it has, so I'm going to have to go through that and edit it down so that it's actually watchable. So that's going to take me a little bit longer than I was expecting. I haven't done any editing videos for a while because normally I do the recording, like the voiceover, after the video is recorded. So for most games, I will do the voiceover when I do the editing. With Stardew Valley, what I've been doing is I've been doing the doing the voiceover whilst I play the game, which is unusual for me. So that means that I've had to play the game when he's not here. And when he is here, we've been playing Dune together online, so I haven't had time to do the editing like I normally would. This I'm doing right now is because he's actually just popped into the office, so it's actually given me an opportunity to do the voiceover for this video while he's gone. So that's why I haven't posted anything for a while. There's a lot of things going on in the background. There's things I'm doing with my husband where we like to play games together. We don't usually have that many we do together. We were playing Icarus for a little bit. Got kind of bored of that. Same with Ark. I mean, I really like Ark in the early days, but then you get like the really powerful dinos and suddenly nothing can touch you. It's just not as much fun. I used to know someone used to run this amazing server where he would make the dinosaurs more powerful than any level you could get your own dinosaur up to, so it was always a risk going out, and that did increase the danger level and the excitement, and you had to be careful about what you took out. And I used to enjoy that kind of challenge, but it's so difficult to set up that we just didn't bother doing it with this one. And again, got the T-Rexes, same bosses. It's the same old. It's kind of, Icarus was kind of the same, except for that we got to the point where we were quite high level and we just couldn't do half the stuff because we needed to get through the canyon to the desert region, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, this is nothing to do with The Sims. It's just explaining why everything's a bit up in the air at the moment. There will be more videos coming out. I will try and increase the frequency of my videos, but there are no guarantees because life, basically. This is a hobby I do in my spare time, and my spare time is obviously taken up with other things as well. Anyway, back to the build. So I've done this over 3 stories. The reason being that I tried to do it over 4 and you couldn't. I wanted a really nice tall stalk, and then I remembered you can increase the height of walls. That's how long it's been since I played Sims 4. I did try to make the inside of the stalk look green, which is why we have like green stairs. I really tried, but it was so much green, just so much green. And I love green. Green is my favorite color, but it was just too much. So this is why I've sort of picked a sort of woody sort of wallpaper with some sort of like animal prints and like leaves and stuff on it. I was like, that's close enough to the theme without being like right on the nose. Then I struggled to find curtains, because I always struggle to find curtains. I don't know why, but I do. And then I made these curtains together and I couldn't see the lights anymore. So you'll have to ignore the fact there's no curtain rail in between the two sets of curtains. I forgot to look. I don't know if I have one in my game, and I forgot to look for one before I finished. And I've just realised. And this is on the gallery now. Anyway, it is what it is. I also tried to pick like floral pictures and things for the walls. I didn't want them to be too bare. I do like the idea of having like a shoe rack by the door, because I don't think there's much point walking into the house, taking the shoes off and then putting them back, or having them upstairs. You wear them upstairs and then you take them off, because by that point you traipse all the way through the house. My usual thing of hiding something under the stairs because it's extra storage, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't use that as extra storage. Like the idea of a little picnic basket, because I thought it was cute and kind of fit with the theme. I also did a lot of landscaping to the outside of this, just to try and make it look somewhat good. I tried. I really, really tried. 3.5 hours of my life, and I'm pretty sure most of it was just me trying to make this thing look okay. Not even good, just acceptable. I would accept it. Acceptable. I was so desperate. So I think like clutter does really make the difference between making a house look like it's got some kind of personality and is actually lived in, versus blank walls and things that don't tend to give it much personality, hence why there is so much downstairs. I wanted a lot of light in this build. Unfortunately, I do not get it, but that's why there are so many windows. I think if you've watched me before, I think I have explained I really do like letting light into the house, and that's why there's always a lot of windows in my builds. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just resent turning the electric lights on. I just don't want to waste electricity, and I don't want to pay the bills. And as you can see, because the outside of the flower was red, I really tried to go for a red theme on the inside. Again, there was just so much red that I think in the end I started picking pink instead, just as a way to break that down a little bit, because again, I quite like red. It's not my favourite colour. Green is my favourite colour, but there was just so much red. It was just too much that I had to try and just tone it down a little bit. It was making my eyes bleed. It was terrible. So I also tried to pick like yellow for the inside to match with the outside, which at least broke down the theme of the red a little bit. Just a little bit. I think by that point I was desperate for any colour that wasn't red or green, quite frankly. And you can see all the red appliances in the kitchen. We're going to ignore the fact there is nothing holding these petals up. Okay? We're going with Minecraft logic. They're perfectly stable. There is no gravity in this game. We're absolutely fine, okay? We're not going to worry about them falling off. Oh, yeah, that was me trying to hide the bit of grass, the bit of foliage showing through. And then I realised I had it up too high and I moved it down. It was fine. There's quite a few things for your Sims to do. There's a computer. There's an easel. There is a violin, I think, for children. There's knitting. There's a chess table. Later, on the outside, I built a garden with a couple of apple trees. Here you see me trying to break down the red. And so there's a lot for your sim to do inside the house if they can stand that much red. And good luck to them, quite frankly. I've seen the build. Good luck to them. I also used a lot of black because red and black do look good together, and it did just break down the colour a little bit. It was the only thing I could find that made it look somewhat bearable. Again, you see I've gone for pink here on the wallpaper because it was just too much. I couldn't tell where the walls ended and the floors began. It was terrifying. I tried to make this into a kid's room, but I wasn't really sure. I was going to make it a toddler's room, then I decided teenager's room, then I decided I don't know what teenagers would want, so then I went sort of like a kid's room in the end, because that gave me a few more options, not many. I think there's some big pauses where I don't do anything in this video. That's where I went to make myself a cup of tea because I needed a break from all the red. There was just so much of it. So yeah, this is basically mostly inside done at this point. Oh, I forgot I put a little clay making thing in and a piano. So one of your Sims can be making like clay pottery and the other can serenade them with music. How beautiful is that? And we hope that when your other Sim, your human one goes outside, 100 years haven't passed and they don't just turn straight to dust. Because, the other Sim being a fairy was just distracting with the music. Yeah, I realised how far that lake looked and I immediately removed it. It was just, I tried really hard not to make it look phallic, and then it looked even more phallic, and it was terrible. Oh, I had a problem with trying to remember which end of the lot was the front. So you'll see a lot of the time I put the hedges in and then take them back out again, and then because I kept forgetting where the front door was. And I set it all up on the basis of where I thought the front door was, and I'd realise, oh no, the front door isn't actually there, and I'd have to move it. Yeah, you've got some animal sheds in here. Again, I just sort of thought animals and they go well together. And this is one of the pauses where I went to get a cup of tea. Here we go. And now I'm putting out the plots for you to grow. Trees from the gallery. I also threw some terrain paint to try and make the thing look somewhat presentable. As I said, I really struggled with this. Once I built it, I just couldn't make it look good. I tried so hard. I am quite pleased with my little willow tree in the centre of like that little lake. I think that's quite pretty. I'm quite proud of myself for that one. Here I am trying to work out which stones look like paving slabs, because I was going to make a little path. Normally I use the ones from Jungle Adventure because at least they look like individual paving slabs. In this sense, I found something else that was a bit similar, so I used that instead. Oh, I forgot I put a little rabbit hideaway in there too. I thought that would be nice for you in this sort of the area that you're in. And here we go again, me just trying to break down the edges of the lot by putting plants that sort of go from the lot onto the outside world, just to break down those hard lines a little bit. It's such a big lot. I did start out with a smaller one, but it was so small I couldn't do the work I wanted to. And then I picked this one because it was so big, and then it turned out to be too big. It's just so big. And yeah, I always fear a little bit of clutter on the outside of animal sheds. I think it just gives them a bit more personality than just a box standard animal shed. So that's what I was doing there. A little bit of update with the changing of the water, just to make it look like it, you know, the tree being over the water, it should have like leaves in it. Again, just sort of breaking down the edges, a bit more landscaping to try and make this look somewhat presentable. And that is it, my fellow dragons. That is the build. As you can see, I have tried. I've tried so hard. In retrospect, I think making a mushroom would have been easier. That's the next thing I'll do. I'll make a giant mushroom. I feel like it would have been 10 times easier than what I tried to do. But, you know, we love a challenge, even if it doesn't go correctly. So we have me moving the countertops, because apparently I don't like where they are anymore. So we have your kitchen here. It's quite a big one, and you've got a little dining table and a tea set. You've also got a juice maker. You've got your stuff for making waffles and pizzas if you want to, and sweets. We have a bedroom over here as a master bedroom, furnished in red and black with lots of open space, a mirror and a vanity table. Obviously you need a bed and a dresser and some side tables. Then we have the living room with 2 rocking chairs, and we have a TV and a chess table. Ooh, blimey, we have disappeared. Oh god, no, stop moving. We have, whoa, blimey, we have the knitting as well, and we have a little GameCube. Then we have the children's bedroom, which has a little children's activities table, a chemistry bench, and a little computer. I also put a little pile of like quilts down to the side, and a playhouse, and the raccoon, because I think he was cute and he is red and stripy. Then on the inside we have the bathroom, a little bit of decor, a little desk in one of the corners so you can give your eyes a break from all the red, a little art easel, some pictures on the walls, and a little ironing board just to really make it feel like a home. I've also added a little certificate in a frame for whatever. I don't know. What do fairies have? I don't know. Did I forget to put lights in? I might have forgotten to put lights in here. We're just going to quickly pretend this did not happen and that there have always been lights in here. We're going to go with this one because it's planty. Yeah, okay. So there's always been plants in here. I don't know what you're talking about. Lights in here. Don't know what you're talking about. And we have the kiln and your pottery table and your piano so that your sim can be serenaded by their spouse, whether they like it or not, while they're trying to work. And then downstairs we have the front entrance. We have a seat for you to sit down in while you take your shoes off. We have somewhere to put your wet coats, a place to put your wet coats, a few decorations, and we've hidden the alarm behind this little wall art because I think those little alarm things are kind of ugly, and I think this little wall art wreath thing is actually quite sweet and pretty. And again, just some clutter under the stairs because that's what I like to do, because that's what I do in real life. If I've got space under the stairs, you bet your ass I'm going to put something under there. Just keeps it out of the way. And that's it. And when we're outside, we have some climbing frame for your... climbing frame? Is that a climbing frame or is that monkey bars? I feel like that's monkey bars, isn't it? I feel like a climbing frame is a lot more I was about to say intense, but that's not quite the right word, is it? A bit more in depth than just this. So you've got some monkey bars, you've got some place to plant plants, obviously, and you have some animal sheds for your little farm. I'm just going to try and see what it looks like in the overworld. My God, it stands out, doesn't it? Okay. Well, let's just hope that the local council doesn't notice and serve you an enforcement notice. But that's the overworld. Oh my God, it doesn't look any better. But thankfully it's hidden behind this tree. So as I say, the next one I might try and make is a mushroom. So look out for that video. God help us all. Hopefully it will go better than this one did. Jeez, it looks awful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my misery. I hope to see you in the next video, my fellow dragons. Take care, my loves. And I will see you with something hopefully a lot better than what I created here. Thank you, darlings. Bye bye.